Alright, so I've got another U-Quiz video coming up. It's going to take a while to edit, so we're doing another chess video here. Because I've had some trouble like finding time to record. Anyways. Pretty sparse setup here. Probably looking to like win material or checkmate in some easy way. Although I don't see a checkmate coming because like where everything is. Our knight's poised to take the bishop. Surely it can't be that easy though, like knight takes bishop, rook takes knight, I don't know, rook d3, that's just an even trade, so we're probably going to do better than an even trade. If we could take the bishop something else, that would be, we could like do a good fork, but I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, you could just like overload it, right? Like rook, if you move the rook to c7, the bishop's going to have two attackers, one defender, and if it tries to escape, it can't deliver check, and you'll be able to just take rook takes rook, so that's got to be it, right? Yeah, there we go. You can tell I haven't played this in a long time because my rating just jumped up by a massive amount. Game 2, our queens are looking at each other, and so are our rooks, so it might be like, what order do we want to trade in? I mean, what else could it be? There's not like, there's just pawns and kings on the board. Anyways, so if we don't do some move with like tempo, we're gonna lose our queen because it's not guarded. That being said, if we go queen takes queen, rook takes queen, we have rook takes rook. Well, I think we just win like that. Is that the puzzle? Yeah, see, that drops this rook. Alright. Yeah, that was 944. It's pretty straightforward. Alright, I see first off, the first move, there's some obvious like avenues for checks, but none of them look safe, like with the queen at least. King's on a white square, so our only checks are with the queen. I think I'm just looking around like something like queen f1 looks tempting because if queen takes queen, we have rook takes queen, and that's an even trade getting us nothing. But like, I'm not seeing a whole lot here. Like, there's obviously not going to be anything with the pawns given the current structure. My first thought would be like trying to overload an attack or like distracting a guard or something like that. I don't see a fork to be had though is the problem. Like, the only targets are the queen and the bishops. The bishops aren't very high value, so I don't see any good like trades that are worth it. Like, you'd probably need a pawn or something, or a free attack, and we don't have either. And the queen we can only really get a good attack on normally with a knight or a protected smaller piece, and you don't have either of those. My thoughts were, we do have that bishop on c3 under attack by the queen, so if we can distract their queen, we get a free capture, but I don't see how that's possible. Like, the two checks we have with our queen are f1 and f5. f1, we just end up trading our queens and get nothing. f5 drops the queen to the bishop on e6. So that's not really any better. If we had a distraction for the bishop, we could then move our queen down, but we clearly can't. I just don't see what the idea here is. Because this is like a quiet move or something, I'm gonna be miffed. I'm just gonna go, it's clearly not queen f1, but I'm gonna, for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna tap out of this one. Okay, that is an idea. Oh, the queen's trapped like that. You see, like, it only has the diagonals, which still puts it in an attack range, or along the axis of the rook. And they do a distraction there, and then you trade down. Alright. I didn't think the check that the queen was trapped in the way it was. Like, it doesn't look very... I guess it is clear if you're looking for it. That's something I just gotta keep in mind to look for. There's a very obvious fork on e7 with the knight. It's guarded by the knight on d5. We need to distract it. I'm guessing just with a capture. Oh, when it's like a... yeah. Alright, that one is, once again, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. And here's your last one for the session here. So, we have a queen back there, but any checks on the king are going to put it next to the king, so it'll just move to capture unless the square is guarded. We don't have any of the squares guarded. We can... we have pawns, we can like harass the queen. If the queen is guarding something we need, which I don't see how. And we have a knight. If we go like knight takes bishop, their only recapture is king takes bishop. And in that case, their only squares to move are going to be like, they have limited squares to move, but I don't see any way of like checkmating them or anything. Like they're still going to have e5 and 6 and g4 and 6. And you can only really take out like the one diagonal or some other like subsection. Based on the spaces, theoretically you have a forking square with a knight on e5, but you can't get there in a practical amount of time based on where the knight is currently. Oh, hang on. The key here, I think, is that the bishop is only guarded by the king on g6. So if we move our h-pawn forward, the king will have to do something which will drop its post. That seems reasonable. Yeah, and there we go. Alright, well that's today's video. Hopefully, like I said, there's a U-quiz coming out soon, so... well, I don't know. Soon is a relative term, but it should be coming out pretty soon here, so... I'm going to be doing a couple like quicker videos in the meantime. Like I said, I've had a hard time finding time to record, so... yeah. Thanks for watching.